Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect. Another episode of News and Prophecy where we go into the things that are happening worldwide. All right, and then we go to biblical prophecy to show you and give you understanding of why these things are taking place. All right, if your belief system is not giving you comfort and understanding as to why the things that are happening, all right, then you need to reevaluate. All right, if your teacher, all right, if you're an Israelite and your teacher tries to sidestep the linking of biblical prophecy with the things that are happening right before your eyes, okay, you are following a false prophet, okay? It's high time to awake out of sleep. The elite of this world are honing in on world domination. And I was checking out this video the other day by this brother, all right, Lightbringer 144K, all right, does beautiful videos. And as you can see, the title of this video is Thomas Malthus, all right, Bill Gates, because they have the same, pretty much when you look at their, their mindset, it's the same thing. And then it says, what is the Malthusian theory? Food crisis in the population. All right, because when you look at what's being told unto you to your face, okay, they are basically hoarding all of the resources to themselves, okay, and they're telling you that there is not enough resources to support the continual growth of human beings. All right. Now, when this earth was created, you think that the Heavenly Father, through the Elohim, didn't know how much food would be needed? All right. Because true food comes from the earth. All right. In the form of course, you have livestock. All right. Plants, herbs. Okay, and these things are all generated and controlled by seeds, okay? But when you look at what they have done to the seeds and what they're doing to the livestock and what they're doing to natural farming, all right, the fact that, in this day and age, we have to go to a grocery store to get our food shows you that this was all planned, all right, years ago. They knew that if they can control the food, okay, that they can ultimately control the people, and that's what they've done. Right now, you still have remnants of people who may grow their own food, but that's being outlawed. All right, we've already done videos showing you that farming, all right, is becoming a thing of the past. You're hearing about carbon tax. Okay, you're hearing about CO2, global warming. All right, and these are all buzzwords for what they're truly trying to do. And what is that? They want to monitor energy consumption. All right. They want to tax human activity. Okay. They want to play the Most High God on earth. And now that their plan has leaked out, now that it's obvious of what they're all about, now that everyone's waking up, we're getting ready to see them move with great wrath. As I have this article queued up here, UK's Prince Charles, vast military-style campaign needed to marshal private sector to fight climate change. And when you really will listen to him, but when you check out what this dude is talking about, it's all geared towards a lot of people will have to die. Okay? Like the Elder Require Kwam says, collateral damage. All right, they're going to come down with great wrath. Okay. Now, the Malthusian theory that brother brought out, Thomas Malthus was an 18th century British philosopher. Now, at that time of the 18th century, okay, the Esau science was, they were going in. Okay, and they were colonizing Okay, they were doing all sorts of wickedness, practicing these theories that, currently people believe are true. All right, a bunch of coked up weirdo Edomites just going around the world doing evil, figuring out ways to dominate, figuring out ways to practice these theories they come up with. Um, and it says, you could look it up. It says he was an economist noted for the Malthusian growth model. Okay. And these devils, I mean, we're living in a time where you're hearing about shortage of magnesium, food shortage. There's no such thing. You realize how big this earth is? Okay, we're living in a time when they're telling you particular products aren't moving off of the ships. So what does that mean? You won't have access to it. Check out this article. We'll get to it. Holiday shortages: toys, turkeys, Christmas trees, and wine could all be hard to come by. Okay, so we're coming into some very interesting times because the elites, all right, are purposely doing this. Now, here it is. They'll tell you the National Guard, they're going to come deliver babies. They're going to come and act in the place of the police. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to be your firemen. But they can't go and get the food off of those ships and do the things necessary to get the people the food. If they wanted these things to get to you, they would get to you. But they're not, okay? Because ultimately what's being prepared is food rationing, as we always tell you, in hard times, okay? Which is going to lead to total chaos. And out of chaos, they bring their order. Order apkeo, the Hegelian dialect, pressure from above and pressure from below. Okay? Now, going back to this madness, it says the Malthusian growth model, an exponential formula used to project population growth. And these devils are really something else, man. They really have a God complex. Okay, and if you don't believe that there's a God or a higher power, then that's on you. All right? We believe that there's a higher power, and we believe that his mediator is how we, his chosen people, have access to him, because you need a priest. You need a high priest to get access. Okay? Well, what is your way to your higher power? All right, well, these Edomites are saying that they're ultimately the Most High God. Okay? Anyway, it says a formula used to project population growth. The theory states that food production will not be able to keep up with the growth in human population, resulting in disease, famine, war, and calamity. And this is what they're doing. This is ultimately the same thing that's being told to you. All of those years of TED Talk where Bill Gates stood in front of you and told you that the earth is overpopulated, okay, and we have to create a thing which ironically is being presented to you to kill off the people, right? Now, if you question that in these times, you'll be called a terrorist and all of this madness. But as the scriptures say, the gates of hell will not prevail, all right, against the tabernacle of David, man. Okay, and the gates of hell are getting ready to try to put their stamp on the earth. Okay, because we're living in a time where there's an age of awakening, starting with the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Everyone is pretty much coming to some form of understanding that something's wrong with the rulership. The balances are not even. Something's very, very wicked. Here it is. You got this devil, and they're just playing games with you. Elon Musk says he's willing to. Now, here it is. These devils have created hell on earth, hoarded all of the resources to themselves, while you run as a hamster on a wheel. Okay. And now they're talking about, well, we can help fix it. Elon Musk says he is willing to spend $6 billion to fight world hunger on one condition. All right. And as the scriptures say, James 5:1, the misuse of riches. And that's what this whole system is based upon. The misuse of power and riches. Now, when you get the scriptures, let's get it real quick in Sirach, the 10th chapter, because the world is ultimately in need of rulership. The earth is beautiful. The earth was created to enjoy. The earth, Eden, okay, that was the name. It means paradise. Okay? And ultimately, it's being ran in ultimate evil, man. Sirach 10:1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. This government is full of Satan, evil, all types of scandals. You got inflation. All right. Why isn't the standard of what money is based upon the valuable things in the earth? Gold, silver, right? So you're witnessing the fruits of a wicked rulership, a wicked government. Now, government means what? Govern, control, mente. All right, going back to the Latin word mente, mind, to control the mind. And they've set everyone against righteousness, man. So a true government and a wise judge will instruct his people in righteousness. Okay? And the Israelites, in their right state of mind, under who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, we're the liberal ones that this earth needs in order to finally breathe. Because everybody's getting ready to catch hell. So the government of a prudent man is well ordered, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And right now, as you read, like you read in Daniel, the 3rd chapter, the officers, all of the rulers, all of the people who are in some form of position, all right, of power, are all gathering themselves together to make you bow to the image of the beast and eventually receive the charagma that is needed to get this 4th industrial revolution moving. If you don't know what the 4th industrial revolution is, go to your YouTube page and type in Carl Schwab 4th industrial revolution and listen to what he says. This metaverse and everything else you're seeing being presented into you is a part of it all. All right. They want to control human activity. They're telling you that there is a shortage of energy because of the many people on the planet Earth. So what they're going to do, you hear Biden talking about carbon tax. We're living in a time where they're telling you that they're going to tax you, all right, based upon how much carbon you need use. Now, carbon is ultimately life at the end of the day. All right. And this man is the enemy of all carbon-based creation. Right. So we're living in a time where there's actually talks of the amount of carbon you use will be tied to a system. And once you use enough carbon, all right, you eat this many amount of meat, it'll cut off. You eat this much amount of plants. You drive this far. That's why everything is getting ready to become electric. They want to get rid of cars that run off of gas. Okay? So that everything can be on a grid. Human activity will be tracked, controlled, and rationed out. How far you can go, how much you can have, will all be dictated and predicated upon them and this new system that they're coming with. Now, we'll get to that in just a minute. But verse 3 says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And right now, the one that is ruling isn't ruling in a way that is profitable to the people. Now, when we get our kingdom, yes, there's going to be payback. Yes, there's going to be, retribution. But when it's all said and done, everyone will benefit in some shape, form, or fashion. No one will be on the level of the Israelites, but the heathen under the Israelites will eventually be able to see a righteous government and rulership and see the earth actually be paradise to where you can enjoy it, okay, and have your fair share. The earth is big enough for that. Here it is. These devils are telling you that the earth is overpopulated. So they're going to have to tax you on carbon. And all you have to do is just type in carbon credit system. Look these things up. What are carbon credits? How fighting climate change became a billion-dollar industry. How trading CO2 could save the climate. These devils are going crazy. Look it up. Let's listen to a little bit of this guy's take on it, and it'll give you just a small understanding of what's going on.
Now, in a sense, I don't mind it, but I object to it on two reasons. I don't like the carbon credit system for these two reasons. I think it's practical, but if we're facing a planet extinction event because of our terrible polluting and carbon polluting ways, then why would we allow anyone to buy their way out? So if GE in this example, they had 50,000 carbon credits, they could go to AOL Time Warner and say, yeah, you guys over there, yeah, you got your allotment here. How you doing? Can you spare me some? Can I buy some on the open market? Oh, sure. Yeah, in fact, give us some stock for that and some gold, and we'll shoot you over those carbon credits. And they can expand their energy use. Now, if we're truly in crisis, why would anyone be allowed to exceed some mythical limit? Does this make sense to you? I hope you understand the words coming out of my mouth. It's not that we're going to improve the planet. You just have to be rich enough to violate your fair share of your carbon usage. Meanwhile, you heard about the credit card that's going to be thrown out there. When you, the John Doe homeowner, or soon to be renter, you are going to have to conform, and when you don't, you're cut off. I don't know. Listen, I think we should pick up beer cans on the beach. I think we should have electric cars, but we have to have the infrastructure to do it. And Biden says, magically I wave my wand and we're going to be all electric cars. And it doesn't work that way, Biden. You have to build the infrastructure. You have to have charging ports.
And they're building.
You have to have spare parts. You have to have batteries that are affordable if when the battery goes bad. See, that's a disincentive for me to ever buy an electric car because those things don't exist. I'm an environmentalist. I truly am. I'd like to see clean burning, solar powered this, electric powered this. You notice a lot of the stuff I sell here on the Common Sense Show, it's solar powered. So don't tell me I'm not an environmentalist. I very much.
Now, these devils, it's funny to hear the devil complaining about the devil, but these devils are the ones who were behind the Industrial Revolution. There were always natural ways to have energy. Now that you have destroyed the earth, yeah, like this video, the sun's going down on Esau. You devils are finished. Now that you've destroyed the earth, now it's human consumption we have to monitor and track so that we can fix it. When your polluted industrial revolution is the reason why everything's all jacked up, all the chemicals, all this damn plastic, right? So you could just look up carbon credit system.
In 2018, the United Nations released an urgent report emphasizing the need to cut carbon emissions in half by 2030 in order to avoid an irreversible climate crisis. The average consumer in Sweden causes around 10 tons of carbon emissions each year. of which 60% is linked to consumption. Later in 2018, Doconomy, a Swedish fintech, took on the challenge and launched Do, a mobile banking service for everyday climate action. The Do app is connected to a credit card that enables users to track and measure their carbon footprint from each purchase and to compensate for its impact day by day. This spring, Doconomy took its fight against climate change one step further by adding a premium credit card to its offer. But instead of introducing a premium credit card with the typical benefits that encourages further mass consumption, Doconomy did the opposite by launching Do Black, the world's first credit card with a carbon limit.
A carbon limit.
Simply put, it's the first credit card ever to stop you from overspending. Not based on your available funds, but rather on the levels of CO2 emissions caused by your consumption.
Do you hear this? You ever heard of Agenda 2030? Oh man. So now the people are to blame. So this is where we're headed.
Do Black helps you track your climate impact and ensures that you reduce it by 50% in line with the UN 2030 recommendation.
The core purpose of Do Black is not only the ability to measure the impact of your consumption, but also bringing it to a direct halt, making it a radical tool against climate change.
Wow. And then you have the metaverse, right? Which, what is it? Metaverse, blurring the lines of reality with NWO transhumanism, right? And that ultimately they're going to present this as a way to save energy. All right. Instead of you traveling all over the world, instead of you getting on an airplane or driving all over, just do it virtually. Metaverse travel. Now, what one tool do you think will be used to bring this all together, man? This man is the absolute devil. Habakkuk 2, all right, and 4. And we're at the end. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. And all of the visions of what the prophets saw, they're happening now. Okay? They're here, showing you that the words of this book are faithful and true. They're living. They're not dead. Where the Egyptian book of it is everything is about death. No, we're living right now. So what do we have as a guide to understand why what's happening is happening? And what comfort do we have to know we're going to get out of it? Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not upright. Whose soul? Esau. But the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. Wine is his philosophy. This is a very wicked philosophy that he's coming with. See? He is a proud man. So pretty much the rich, you're going to have to be absolutely balling to enjoy a decent life. So that's why they're ridding the middle class, and it's going to be the rich and just the poor. And this happened in ancient Rome, but this is now a digital Roman Empire, man. So he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. He won't stop and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Now, how do you control the people? By controlling the resources. And we've showed you various articles and videos that these devils have bought up pretty much all of the land. They're cutting out the middleman. Your way to food in ancient time was the farmers. Okay? Well, now Have you looked up to the farm to fork crap? Everything will be controlled, limited, and rationed, man. Tracked. Human activity will be taxed. God-given rights will be no more. These people are losing their goddamn mind. Now, we're going to go to this article and deal with this metaverse because it means a lot of people think it's cute. But as you see, there's a lot of people who are, wait a minute, what do you mean by metaverse? People are going into the root word of meta, people weren't doing that until the apostles came on the scene, man. Straight up. I've been living. Right now, everybody is going into what are they doing? Hey, we're here, man. But I wanted to check this out as well. UK's Prince Charles' vast military-style campaign needed to marshal private sector to fight climate change. You keep hearing climate change, CO2, global warming. You keep hearing those things. Those are code word for lots of things. But it will all be presented to you as a way of peace and safety, as a way for you to live a better life. Let's listen to him.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic has shown us just how devastating a global cross-border threat can be. Climate change and biodiversity loss are no different. In fact, they pose an even greater existential threat.
Oh,
To
Lord.
the extent that we have to put ourselves on what might be called a warlike footing.
A warlike footing. It's getting so bad, the climate and everything, so we have to do, what do we have? We need a warlike footing. Now, going back to this and what your boy, Gates has been talking about, okay, and richer countries should move towards fake meat. Okay, everything's becoming artificial, right? There's not enough food, or the climate cannot keep up with the large amount of human growth. So this is why we have disease, famine, war, and calamity. It's being blamed upon people, right? So they have talked to you face to face, told you that we need a way to get a lot of these people out of there. Go back and look at those. A lot of them have been taken off YouTube. Go back and look at those videos of Gates talking about population control. You got to look it up on your own.
Having myself had the opportunity of consulting many of you over these past 18 months, I know you all carry a heavy burden on your shoulders, and you do not need me to tell you that the eyes and hopes of the world are upon you.
There go your boy. And this is a summit, climate summit.
To act with all dispatch and decisively, because time has quite literally run out.
Time has run out. Let's go ahead and get the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. Okay, Revelation, the 12th chapter. In the 12th verse. And how are you going to overcome what this devil is getting ready to do with the power and resources he has and control? Divine intervention is going to be needed. Okay? You can't buy your way out of this. There's no way. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, there is no way you will ever catch up. We can get 18 billionaires in our community, and that wouldn't even get us to the midway point. Wouldn't even get in the race. We would probably move a few inches ahead with the wealth that these devils have accumulated through ill-gotten gain. So if you think money is the way out, because the scriptures tell you, Proverbs 11:4, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. Now, money is a defense, all right? But without wisdom, you're a fool. In the times that we're coming into, okay? Whew. And people don't get it. You Jakes think it's a joke. Still running around asking about rape. Well, the devil is getting ready to rape you. Revelation 12:11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath. Now, in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, it tells you the devil's going to throw you in prison. This is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan jumping down from the heavens. Okay? No, the devil is come down unto you, meaning he's getting ready to come down on your ass, having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time. And who else is he going to come after? Verse 17, and the dragon, which in this chapter is the Roman Empire. Now the Roman Empire is reborn into the earth through America, NATO, EU. As you can see, they're at a British. They're at the Britain's Prince Charles, which Britain is a part of that Roman system as well. America, the 13 colonies, was born out of the British. That's prophecy in Revelation, the 17th chapter, Daniel, the 7th chapter. He just told you that they had a short time. Time's running short for these devils. So he's wroth and pissed off with the woman, which is symbolic of the nation of Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Because out of everybody on the earth, we're the ones that are calling to be faithful to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And he doesn't like that. He wants everybody to be diluted in whoredom, caught up in the bread and circuses, and stupid, dumbed down. But there's a connection we have with our power he doesn't like. And just like at the time of Haman, when he was in the Persian Empire, okay, what did they say? Our enterprise cannot move forward with these niggas practicing their practices and moving people to turn away from our God and telling people not to bow to our image, because they are trying to create and make man in their image. That's what the fourth industrial revolution is all about. And what is the best way to get someone to bow to your agenda? Food, resources, right? So he's going to come after the remnant, which has awakened in these latter days, which keeps the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
The recent IPCC report gave us a clear diagnosis of the scale of the problem. We know what we must do.
Climate change.
With a growing global population creating ever-increasing demand on the planet's finite resources, we have to reduce emissions urgently and urgently. Take action to tackle the carbon already in the atmosphere, including from coal-fired power stations. Putting a value on carbon, thus making carbon capture solutions more economical, is
putting a value on carbon. Listen to him again.
Putting a value on carbon, thus making carbon capture solutions more economical, is therefore absolutely critical.
They want to tax life. They want to own and control life so that they can control you. Carbon is life. Let's just look up, what is carbon? I mean, you could look it up for yourself. The element of life. Just look at this quick one.
Scientists say the Earth is getting hotter, and we can help turn down the heat by reducing our carbon footprint. But what is carbon, and why is it so important? Carbon is the building block of life. Any living thing, a tree in your backyard, your pet dog, the fish in your kid's aquarium, even you wouldn't exist without carbon. To sustain.
And what nation has the most carbon and melanin packed into them? The Israelites, which is why we do everything so much better. We see at a better rate than the heathen. We taste, all right? We jump higher. The earth interacts with us in a different matter than it reacts or interacts with everyone else. And it's all a blessing from on high. And it's spiritual before it's carnal, because you have dark-skinned nations all over the earth. So it's more about the spirit and the life that is put into you from on high, man, through your genetic makeup, than just your skin color. All right. Now, the royal look ultimately is the dark brown to the light brown hue, but ultimately we'll get all of that back in the kingdom. But this is why we have such a spiritual connection with our power, man. Melanin and all of that stuff. But anyway.
Sustain life, carbon moves around the earth, from the air to the ground to the ocean and back to the air again. This is called the carbon cycle. Carbon is stored in various spots along the journey, like in trees or the soil. It is exchanged among living things between the ground and the air. But the carbon cycle is out of balance. We're cutting trees.
The carbon cycle is out of balance. Now, this is just some BS I clicked on. You know, of course, it's going to be all filled with propaganda and stuff. But who's cutting down the trees? See, this is why when you get Isaiah, the 14th chapter, when this devil goes away, do you realize how much of a dumbed down life we live under this devil, man? We'll just jump to the point. When you fall, Isaiah 14:7, the king of Babylon, Esau, Edom, Lucifer. Lucifer is not the spiritual demon Satan. Lucifer just means the light bearers. What do they call themselves? The Illuminati, illuminated ones. They think that they're saying that they are the light. Okay? Lucifer being cast down from heaven is Esau being cast down from his rulership. That's why the scriptures say, in a new heaven and a new earth is coming. A new rulership. Isaiah 14:7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Okay? This is when the king of Babylon falls, man. Okay? When he falls, man, it says we're going to take up a proverb against him and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The king of Babylon. And we are in Babylon. So when that happens, the whole earth is going to be at rest. It says, yea, the fir tree rejoice at thee. All right? Which the elect are you know, symbolically the fir tree, the cedar, and all of that. But literally, too, the fir tree and the things of the earth that have been tainted and destroyed by this devil are going to finally be able to operate in their order. Yea, the fir tree rejoice at thee. The fir tree is what is known as the Christmas tree in this time. It's been cut down at a rapid rate for what? Idol worship. Okay? I just showed you a article where they're saying there's going to be a shortage of the fir tree. It's called the Christmas tree here, but it's the fir tree. Right? So when you fall, the fir trees are going to rejoice. The cedars of Lebanon are going to rejoice, saying, since thou art cut down, no feller is come up against us. Now, this word feller in the Hebrew, this is why the Bible has to be broken down by the men of the Lord, because reading it wouldn't make sense to you. And no, we didn't go to the Edomite to get this breakdown. This breakdown came directly from the Holy Spirit, man. Karath. All right? To cut off, to eliminate, to kill. And that's all this devil does is go around destroying and cutting down the trees. Okay? He's destroyed all of the trees. This man, he even got particular shows where he just goes around cutting trees down. Now in the law, it tells you when you take over a land, there's particular trees you need to let stay where they are. There's particular trees you do chop down for the purpose of, burning fire, building houses and stuff like that. But you don't cut down all of the trees. What was the number one thing this devil just said?
But the carbon cycle is out of balance. We're cutting trees, burning fossil fuels, and mismanaging our land.
Who was doing that? The Edomite, you did that. This is your system. Now the people are being blamed and they're going to be attacked. And niggas have no idea.
Too much carbon is being released, and the Earth is trapping carbon dioxide. It's a gas that holds lots of heat, which is why scientists...
There was always ways to drive cars without gas. The way that they're doing it, there's all sorts of creations and inventions that they just suppress that could have been made things better. But the Lord put a spirit on him to not stop. But anyway, you can look up all of that on your own. Let's go back to this guy and look at him.
Similarly, after billions of years of evolution,
Oh, Lord.
nature
Billions of years of evolution.
is our best teacher. In this regard, restoring natural capital, accelerating nature-based solutions.
It took you billions of years to figure out you need to take care of the earth. See, the law, statutes, and commandments address how the earth should be taken care of. See, you all think it's a religion. When you go into our laws, it tells you there's particular ways to take care of the earth. The land Sabbath, not mingling the seeds, what animals belong where.
And leveraging the circular bioeconomy will be vital to our efforts. As we tackle this crisis, our efforts cannot be a series of independent initiatives running in parallel. The scale and scope of the threat we face call for a global systems-level solution based on radically transforming our current fossil fuel-based economy to one that is genuinely renewable and sustainable. So, ladies and gentlemen, my plea today is for countries to come together to create the environment that enables every sector of industry to take the action required. We know this will take...
Look at these niggas, man. These are the rulers of the world. Why do the heathen rage? Why do the heathen rage? Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. They want to cut us off from our power. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision, and they are in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. And he's speaking unto them via the prophets. But then these things that we're saying, they're going to happen. The lowly of the earth, the meek, is being set up and set in order right in your face to tell you.
Trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
We need a whoa. Go green.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
A military campaign, a martial military campaign. Meaning a lot of people got to go.
With trillions at its disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
And you can watch that, but somebody put a tweet, all right, because people, this goes over people's heads. All right, this is Robbie Starbuck. It says Prince Charles just came out with one of the more direct calls, all right, the global elite have made to transform our world under the control of a single entity that dominates everyone. He even admits it will take all right, militaristic style campaign to achieve this coordination with corporations.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my plea today is for countries to come together to create the environment that enables every sector of industry to take the action required. We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened. So
the devil is getting ready to go to come down with great wrath, man. And they're playing with you. Elon Musk, he's willing to spend $6 billion to fight world hunger. They got all of these riches, right? James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Okay? And the way that they run the world, how they hoarded all of the gold and everything to themselves, a witness against them, because look at the world. Why they have all of those riches. And shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. And they have all of the treasure. They have all of the resources. Right? Just like over here in China. China's magnesium shortage threatens global car industry. Right? So how do you run out of magnesium? How do you run out of God-given elements? This system just has to be stopped. These people have to be taken down, man. So you have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth the Israelites. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, the Lord of armies. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. This is you Edomites. You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You hadn't taken care of it because you control the earth, right? You devils are something else, man. And Job, the 21st chapter, goes perfectly, okay, into the what's getting ready to happen to you devils, man. Job 21:13, they spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. They say not, therefore they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. Now look. Now look. Now there's a cry to get the environment and the earth back in order after your system is what's destroyed it. What is the Almighty that we should serve him, and what profit should we have if we pray to him? And this is even the mindset of lower level rich niggas who got a little money. All right, your so-called the black boule, the elite of the black world who are gatekeepers for this whole satanic system. And keep, all right, you niggas in a low vibration. Fighting for some damn black agenda, but black this, black that. Vote. Getting into this music industry where you get defiled and destroyed. Hollywood. Defiled and destroyed. the athletic world, defiled and destroyed, used and abused, man. Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God disturbeth the sorrows in his anger. Now, when you read down, I'll just get to the point. Verse 27, behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. All right. For ye say, where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by the way? And do ye not know their tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, and they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath? See, you Edomites were reserved for this time. Who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him for what he have done? That's what the Israelites are set up to do. As the scriptures say, we will be set in order right in your eyes, man. Psalm 64 or Psalms 50 and 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence, though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Okay, now consider this, ye that forget the Most High. Okay, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver you. And this is what's coming to these world elite rulers, man. Okay. Now, I was going to get into a whole bunch of other scriptures, but what I'm going to do is, Lord willing, we'll come back, but I'll get this, man. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 13. There is a sore evil which I've seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners, therefore to their hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. So here it is. You've spent all of these years passing down wealth to your children, right? Let's see here. When you go into this chapter, Job 21. Yep. And 9, their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of God upon them. That's what you go into 2 Thessalonians 2. He who will now let will let. So the Lord allowed them to build just like the Egyptians. They're bulled, and during that, Jake gets jealous of them. So you be like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And you become a weirdo. Threwed up. They're bull gendereth. See, they have cattle and felleth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. Meaning they have animals and all of the earth resources to their expense. They got it, right? How many of you have bull and cattle? Okay? And casteth not her calf, meaning the babies are not dying. It said they send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. So here it is. Your children have benefited, and you've created a whole pseudoscience as to why you're at the top and we're at the bottom. But the truth is coming out now. Well, now we're living in a time that the riches you have are going to perish, and your children ain't going to have nothing because they're going to be reproached for your sake. What the scriptures say, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, man. So, Lord willing, we'll go deeper into these things in another video. I got to roll out. We'll get into this as well. Hopefully I will edify it. On to the next. Shalom.